Psycho, nutcase, schizo. You may not realize it, but these terms, often used to describe someone with a mental health condition, can be very harmful. In a country where 1 in 5 people are affected by a mental illness, it's time for all of us to step up and change the conversation. When the discussion on mental illness focuses on fear instead of hope, people struggling with these conditions get caught up in the judgment and shame attached to them. They become lost in all the talk and harmful words, and they may not get the support they need. But we can help by directing our loved ones to places like NAMI, the National Alliance on Mental Illness, for life-saving resources. Just because someone's struggle isn't obvious on the outside doesn't mean they aren't hurting on the inside. We need to see the person, not the condition. Join me, pledge to be stigma-free.
My name is Samantha Wesley. I am 18 years old. Life was difficult for me growing up at home. My father was in and out of the home. He was an alcoholic and a drug addict, and my mother did the best that she could to take care of 3 children by herself. I think we all learned a lot together and became stronger together just from him being absent. And I was, kind of just making my own path and doing what I wanted to do. And then when I was about 14 or 15, I got in trouble because my mom found out. And once I kind of realized that what I was doing, I decided to, take the program and change my ways.
Welcome to My Healthy Mind. I'm Michael Hunter. When we consider the number of factors of choices and decisions that go into determining the course our lives will take, it's a little frightening to think that any one of those at any point can forever alter that course. As children, most of these choices are made for us, sometimes by people who have no capacity for the job. Bad decisions followed by bad solutions, and you've got kids headed for a lifetime of pain. Today we have with us Judge Edward Joseph, who, as presiding judge of the 4-year-old Juvenile Mental Health Court program, tells us how Wayne County has been successfully reaching and rescuing kids at the crossroads. Judge, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Michael. Thank you for having me and for the opportunity to talk about teens and mental health today.
Can you tell us a little bit about why the Juvenile Mental Health Court was formed in 2016?
Well, in Wayne County, where we have the largest juvenile section in Michigan, we have the largest caseload with children, we began to notice prevalence of children coming onto our docket with mental health needs. And that combined with, we were looking for a way to provide these children with services without having to remove them from their home. Under the traditional approach, which was to be a residential program for children who needed mental health treatment. And so with those 2 things in mind, we developed the program really with 2 goals. The first goal was to give children the skills that they need to manage their mental health independently. And the second goal was to focus on education, where we appointed educational advocates for each child to make sure that they were in school and receiving the services that they would need to move forward with their education. And we had a series of meetings on what the program would look like. A few of the biggest criteria that we looked at were age. We admit children between 12 and 16. And we also looked at the types of offenses. We didn't feel that children that were charged with any type of serious assault would be a good fit for the program. So that was one of our criteria. And our final criteria was parental and family support. We really needed the support of both parents and the extended family in order for a child to be successful in the program.
And how does the process work?
Children can be referred to the program. Really, there are 2 primary ways we receive referrals at this point. The first way is through our status unit. The status unit is an arm of the court, and it receives contacts with parents, sometimes other members in the community, police officers, for children that they're having problems with. And it's not necessarily criminal activity. It can be children that are running away from home, or they're not going to school, or their behavior has gotten to a point where it's unmanageable. And so those children come to our attention. We also receive referrals throughout the juvenile court from jurists who have a child on their docket where they believe there might be a mental health issue. And so we receive referrals from those children too.
I became introduced to weed at the age of 11 because I was always hanging out with older people, and I started hanging out with people that I shouldn't have been hanging out with, so I got introduced through them. At the age 14 or 15, my mother found out. She drug tested me and I came up positive, and I'm not exactly sure who she called, but I know that the first person that I came in contact to through the program was Debbie Nelson. And my mother made a meeting. We went in there, we talked to her and everything, and the beginning processes of everything, like getting me a therapist and just the evaluation, everything started. And I met Judge Joseph. He is a wonderful person, and the program is just amazing. Before the program, I felt worthless and I felt like I didn't have anything going for me. I shouldn't be here, you know. I didn't feel like I was comfortable. I didn't feel like I had a place in the world, and I didn't feel like I had anybody. And the program really opened my eyes that not everyone is bad. And it took a long time to figure that out, but it's a really good thing to know.
And so, although it's a mental health court, it's not necessarily a criminal court for the juvenile.
It's court in the sense that all of these children have had some contact with the court, but the goal of the program is that their contact will be diverted, so they won't have a juvenile record if they successfully complete the program. The program really focuses on mental health treatment and school. It also focuses on other services in the community. Really a way to get that juvenile back on track so that they can focus on their life, focus on their education, and progress forward. When someone is admitted to the program, the first thing we do is an assessment. We conduct a psychological, determine whether there are mental health needs there. And if there are and they're admitted to the program, that's really when the services kick in for that child. And so we have partnerships with the Detroit Wayne Integrated Health Network and all of the mental health agencies throughout Wayne County that provide services to these children. So although the program is run from the court, these children are in the community, the therapists are in the community, and much of our extracurriculars are in the community.
If a child did not participate in the program, what would typically be an alternative path that they would go down?
There are probably a couple of alternative paths. For those children that behaviors become unmanageable, they could go to a residential program, which means they would no longer live in their home, they'd no longer go to their same school, they'd be enrolled in a program. Some programs are local, some programs are located elsewhere throughout the state. But the programs run anywhere from 6 to 9 months, even as long as 1.5 years, where they would receive mental health treatment along with schooling and other services. So that's path number one. That's the path we were really trying to avoid because our goal is to keep children at home and in their school and community. The other path for those children that don't have actual criminal activity but perhaps are just running away, not going to school, is a much more unfortunate path. We have children that times can get lost throughout our society, and they sometimes unfortunately become the victims of human trafficking. They fall away from school where we've lost track of them. Some of them can be AWOL for an extended period of times. When I mean AWOL, they're not home. They're someplace where no one knows where they are. And that's a path that is our biggest challenge in juvenile court that we try to avoid as best as we can.
And how important is the family or the natural support for the program to be successful for the kids?
It's very important. That was one of our initial criteria, and as we went through the program over the last few years, it became clear to us that it's probably our most important criteria. Those children that don't have the support, especially of the parent that they live with and with extended family members, have a much lower success rate in our program. To the point now where when we're considering admitting a teen to our program, we make sure that we meet with the parents and the family to make sure that they're on board with participating, because we don't want to admit a child only to have it fall apart because a parent is not supportive. It has been a barrier at times, and we've tried to provide some services to parents to assist them with the supporting their child. We've had from time to time a parent group where parents of children in the program could meet when their child was in therapy, or perhaps after court, and the parents would go to a parenting group. We've also at other times, because mental health can be intergenerational, have referred parents for some mental health services and support to help them with their mental health issues.
And is there a typical day or a typical format for the program when a child is coming to the program?
There is. A typical day for a child would be, first of all, they would go to school. We try to structure most of the services so that they are after school. So a child would go to school. The therapist or the counselor assigned to that child would generally meet with the child inside the home. So they would come to the home sometime after school hours, later in the afternoon. We have court either weekly or bi-weekly for each child to make sure that they're on track and they're doing what they're supposed to do. Our court hearings are later in the afternoon, so generally when we schedule court, we have court at 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon so the children don't miss school. And otherwise, it maybe not a typical day, but other activities that we've provided, we also try to do after school. We've had some community service activities. We've referred children for other projects that they're interested in, such as at one point we had a poetry class, a boxing program, other extracurriculars that we thought would engage a particular child. Just general incentives every week. We have candy and small incentives when they're doing well, but we've moved up to gift cards when they do well, to movies, restaurants, theaters. We've also had other incentives where we have paid for them to go to different programs. I mentioned a poetry class earlier, but we've paid for other after-school programs for them to go to, summer programs also. And so we're real proud of that. We're actually trying to increase the amount of incentives that we can offer as we go forward.
And how is the program monitored? And I know you yourself meet with these kids too, correct?
I do. We meet every week or every other week generally. We have a team, me as the judge, and we also have 2 referees that conduct hearings to meet with the children. And we also have a team, though. We have a probation officer that contacts the family, contacts the child on a regular basis and makes sure the child is going to school, staying home, doing their work. We have a coordinator that looks over the bigger aspects of the program and sets up the activities for the program. And we, in general, try to do the best we can to monitor that child. And we also have, as I said earlier, an educational advocate that meets with the child periodically, goes to the school, tries to make sure the child is not just in school, but in the correct program for that child, and tries to get any specialized services that particular teen may need.
And are you finding that the child typically is fully engaged? They understand the scope and the gravity of the situation?
It's a work in progress, I would say. Really, at the beginning of the program, we do meet with the parent and the child to make sure that they're willing to participate and willing to engage in the services, and they agree. But I'd say that initially in the program, there's probably some resistance, more from the teen, because the program involves a degree of structure that they're not used to, and certainly more work than they're used to, because not only do they have to go to school, they have to meet with their advocate, they have to meet with their therapist, and we expect them to do all those things. But as the program goes on, I would say that their approach, their attitude toward it improves, and they begin to see the benefits of it and enjoy being in the program, to the point that when we reach a graduation ceremony, it's a very happy event. Most of the children look back fondly on their participation. We had one graduate. It was really a phenomenal story. She was a young lady in the 9th grade, and she wasn't going to school at all. And by the time that she came to the attention of our program, I think she had missed probably 6 months of school. And she was behind. Her mother was very frustrated. And she was very shy. She got into the program. We had a really good therapist that worked with her. We found out after testing that she actually had the ability to read at the 12th grade level. She was in 9th grade. Her math skills were superior to most of the children in her grade. Once we got past the mental health issues, she was going to school regularly and just excelling well beyond her grade level. And we're really, really proud of her.
Stress, depression, and severe mental illness can happen to anyone. Team Wellness Center has been helping those struggling with these conditions in southeastern Michigan.
They get a chance to know that somebody's on their team. We think nobody else feels the pain that we feel. We feel like I'm the only one. But that is so untrue.
Within 24 hours of reaching out to our team, members receive psychiatric evaluations and begin the necessary treatment for recovery.
Working through my problems and seeing that I'm not the only one that has to cope has really brought me to a place where now it's okay to talk about it.
Because if you keep stuff to yourself, you can't overcome. We all need one another.
Team Wellness Center. You are not alone.
I was in the program for about 2 years. I graduated, I think, February 2018. When I graduated, it was the first real thing that I actually accomplished in my life, and it made me feel very proud of just myself and what I have been through the program and how much I had changed just as a person. Throughout the whole time I was in the program, I didn't realize how much I had changed until I got to graduation, and I was like, I was ready. The ceremony was like an actual graduation. We got our caps and gowns, we got our little certificates that were really adorable, and they had invited a lot of people. Our families could come, there was food, and they had speakers, and we just kind of like walked up to the front of the stage, and everyone clapped and smiled, and I was nervous, but I was very happy. I felt accomplished and proud of myself, but not only that, I was just happy that I had grown and met so many amazing people and that I had a family.
Some people watching may not understand what puts the child situation in a category called mental health, because this is juvenile mental health court. So how do we let people know, or what's the trigger or the bridge to say this is not just bad behavior, there's an underlying mental health issue here?
It's really a two-part problem. We do a full assessment when we have a referral for a child to make sure that there is a real mental health diagnosis, similar to what they would do for an adult that was receiving mental health treatment. And we have a diagnosis, there's a medication review done to see if medication is needed, it's discussed with the family. So we do know that those children do have a mental health need that needs treatment that's contributing to their behavior. That's not to say, though, the overall focus of juvenile court, even apart from the mental health cases, though, is service. I mean, we don't give up on any children. For all the children that come before the system, the focus, even if they don't have a mental health need, is to put them back on the right track. So we in very few cases, other than when a child is charged with an adult, in very few cases do we have a child where we're giving up. We always try to provide that child with the help that they'll need to get back in school, to get back on track and be a productive member of society. That's really the focus of all juvenile courts.
The program is very supportive. There's many different people that have specific jobs that can help you with certain things, and the one person that comes to my mind when I think of the best person that I met through the program was my therapist. And they're so supportive, and just like as a community as a whole, they want you to succeed and they want you to do better. They give you the tools that you need, and they give you that push that you need to get out in the world and just to be happy. And they're also loving and caring, and they really do care about how you're doing even after the fact. They care about, if you need anything or if something's wrong. They want to help you figure it out and go through it, just because they are good people and this is something that they chose to do. And I think that's 10 times better that it's out of the goodness of their heart. They love helping you and, letting you succeed and grow. Next, I see myself finishing high school. I want to go to Madonna College, and I'm already, trying to get everything rolling for that. I am setting up to get my first car and my license. I just want to be happy, and I know that what I need to be happy is to set myself up, and that is what I'm working towards right now. I do not live at home anymore. I live with my cousin. Me and my mother, after the program, had a falling out, but it's okay. It is okay. Sometimes things in life don't happen the way you wanted it to happen, but I think you should take every situation and, just make it the best that you can for yourself.
And what kind of feedback do you get from the police?
We get good feedback. The police it continually with juveniles that are truant, that don't go to school, they're in a constant tug and pull with those particular teens in their particular community. And so it's good feedback. They see the program as helpful, and that it's a way of keeping track of these children and making sure that they're in school and staying out of trouble.
I can imagine that people were skeptical at first, and now that they've come around, is there anything that the public can do to help the program?
Well, we're always looking for new opportunities in the community. We're always looking for mentors. We're always looking for activities. I know that I had mentioned we had found some limited activities, boxing programs, poetry classes, music classes, but we're always looking for other activities to keep the children engaged. We're also looking for community service activities for children and job opportunities. Every summer we try to partner with agencies in the community. One year we partnered with MSU for that, because we like in the summertime for them to have a part-time job if we can set one up for them.
What are some of the setbacks you've seen in the progression of the program from its inception until now?
Our needs are essentially that we're very understaffed and we're underfunded. We have a probation officer, we have a coordinator, a case manager position, but in order to continue to grow, we need additional members of those. We need additional probation officers, additional case managers, because the larger the program grows, the more staff we need. Right now we are grant funded, so we're funded by a grant from the Supreme Court.
And as it continues its path to success, that could influence more grants and more funding and more support, you believe?
We're hopeful. We're hopeful that that's true. We notice that the grant opportunities are getting larger as time goes on, and that more people are becoming interested, which means the institutions become more interested as people become more interested. But it's a process. From our perspective, it can't happen quick enough, but it's a process.
Thank you so much for joining us today and educating us about the Juvenile Mental Health Court. If you had a final message to say to everybody watching today, what would it be?
I would say if you're a parent or if you're a child or a teen, don't minimize your mental health needs. Focus on mental health care, prioritize it, be aware of it, and reach out for help. There are services out there, there are agencies, people willing to help, and we want all of our teens to be successful. And the best place to start on that is with some good old-fashioned self-care.
What I'd like to say to children that are watching is that you are worth it, and just keep fighting. Every day it is a struggle, but you just have to congratulate yourself on the little things. You know, you got out of bed today. That is a start. I think it's a beautiful thing to keep moving forward every day, and you'll get there. You'll do it, and you'll be very proud once you get there.
At Team Wellness Dental Clinics, you'll find plenty to smile about. Our friendly professional dentists and hygienists are here to give you the full range of preventative and remedial care you need for a beautiful, lasting smile. From diagnostics to routine cleanings, our team does it all, right in your neighborhood. So whether you come to us or we come to you, you'll get the kind of dental care you need to keep smiling. Team Wellness Dental Clinics, now serving communities all over Metro Detroit. At Team Wellness Primary Care Center, you'll find all the basic services you need to be well and stay well. Come in for all your screenings. Come in for routine physicals and checkups. Come in for full-service dentistry. Come in for vaccinations and immunizations. At Team Wellness Primary Care Center, we take care of your total health. Team Wellness Primary Care Center. Come on in.
Thank you for being with us today as we learned about how just one intervention at a critical crossroads can change the course of a child's life for good. If you'd like to learn more about this or any mental health issue, please visit us at myhealthymind.com, follow us on Twitter at myhealthymind, or on Facebook. We'll see you next week for another edition of My Healthy Mind. Let's talk about it. Don't forget to like, share, comment, and subscribe for more content from My Healthy Mind. Let's talk about it.
Hi, I'm Anthony, owner of the Policello Insurance Agency. Thanks for stopping by. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the insurances and services we offer. For individuals and families, we offer health, life, dental, vision, and disability insurance from multiple carriers. We even offer health insurance plans from healthcare.gov and Medicare plans for those over 65. Do you own a business? If so, we offer a variety of employee benefits like health, dental, and vision coverage for businesses with as few as 1 employee or as large as 500. We also offer commercial coverage like general liability, workers' comp, and property insurance. The Policello Insurance Agency is an independent agency offering multiple insurance carriers, which means you do not have to call around to several different companies shopping for coverage or rates. We will give you quotes from different carriers to help you find the best price and coverage for your family or business. If you have questions about insurance for you, your family, or business, call us today for a free quote at 1-800-578-5141. Thanks for stopping by.
It's okay to think you're in a toxic relationship with the world right now.
It's okay to feel like your world is changing.
It's okay if it's hard to find the words to express how you feel.
It's okay to feel like you just want to become someone else.
It's okay if you're panicking over an inability to control your life right now.
It's okay to have trouble maintaining your normal routine while staying home.
It's okay if you're feeling more cynical than usual.
It's okay if you want to curse more than you usually do.
It's okay to wear your favorite tank top several days in a row.
It's okay to miss your job.
It's okay to just stay quiet.
It's okay to be depressed.
It's okay to talk to your cats like they understand what you're saying.
It's okay not to feel the most fabulous right now.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay. It's okay.